This episode explores historical patterns through scholarly research and archaeological evidence. All sources are provided in the description. Power doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Behind every empire that ever rose, from ancient Mesopotamia to modern civilizations, historians have traced invisible patterns, systems that shaped societies long before armies marched. History celebrates kings and generals, but it often forgets the architects behind them, the advisors and strategists who understood human nature. These patterns still exist today, refined over thousands of years. Welcome to Lost Thrones, where we explore the forces that built civilizations and continue to influence our world. Our journey begins with the birth of organized power. Chapter 1. Thrones of the Ancient World. Picture this: a desert landscape, clay towers rising towards the sky. Before nations existed, power took its first form in the cities of Mesopotamia. Towering ziggurats weren't just temples. Archaeological evidence shows they served as centers of organization, places where priests and scribes coordinated entire communities. These early leaders discovered something profound. To guide large populations, you must first understand what moves them. In Egypt, pharaohs built monuments that still inspire awe today. Each pyramid and statue carried meaning beyond decoration, reinforcing the structure of society itself. Babylon's temples and marketplaces worked together as one system. Trade routes, religious festivals, and civic duties all interconnected. But here's the question: how did ancient civilizations maintain order across generations? Through education. Scribes carefully preserved knowledge, passing down laws and traditions. Art and mythology taught values that held communities together. The calendar marked seasons for planting and harvest. Tax systems distributed resources. Every element served a purpose in the larger design. These weren't accidents. They were the product of centuries of accumulated wisdom about human cooperation. Today's institutions echoed these ancient innovations. The basic challenge remains unchanged. How do societies organize themselves peacefully? This question leads us deeper. But first, we must understand what truly binds people together. Chapter 2. The Psychology of Belief. Ancient leaders made a crucial discovery. Human behavior flows from what people believe and feel. Faith created bonds stronger than any contract. Shared rituals brought communities together during harvests, floods, and wars. Now think about this. Temples served multiple roles. They were places of worship, yes, but also schools, banks, and gathering spaces. Priests studied human nature, understanding what inspired loyalty and cooperation. Ceremonies marked life's important moments: birth, adulthood, marriage, death. Each ritual reinforced social connections and passed traditions to new generations. Myths and legends did more than entertain. Stories of heroes and gods taught lessons about courage, wisdom, and community responsibility. They showed consequences for breaking social bonds. Clear expectations and consistent responses helped maintain order. People understood what their society valued and what it wouldn't tolerate. But this wasn't control through force. Historical records show most ancient societies functioned through shared understanding and mutual benefit. When communities believed in common goals, they achieved remarkable things. The pyramids, the Hanging Gardens, the Library of Alexandria, all required thousands working together voluntarily. Understanding human motivation became essential knowledge. Leaders who grasped these principles could unite diverse peoples toward shared purposes. This brings us to perhaps the most powerful force in history: knowledge itself. Chapter 3. The Power of Knowledge. Throughout history, information has determined the fate of civilizations. Imagine ancient Mesopotamia. Scribes held extraordinary importance. They recorded everything: harvests, trades, laws, astronomical observations. This accumulated knowledge helped societies plan and prosper. Literacy was rare and valuable. Those who could read and write became essential to governance. They preserved wisdom across generations, ensuring hard-learned lessons weren't forgotten. Egypt's priestly class studied mathematics, medicine, and engineering. Their knowledge built temples that have lasted millennia. They calculated flood patterns to predict harvests years in advance. But knowledge served another purpose. It connected past, present, and future. Written histories reminded people of their shared heritage. Sacred texts provided moral guidance. Scientific understanding improved daily life. Libraries became treasures more valuable than gold. The collected wisdom of civilizations resided in scrolls and tablets. Losing a library meant losing centuries of progress. Education systems determined who would lead. Young scribes studied for years, learning languages, mathematics, law, and philosophy. This training prepared them to serve their communities. Access to knowledge shaped opportunities. Those who understood astronomy could navigate by stars. Those who knew engineering could build irrigation systems. Specialized knowledge became specialized roles. These ancient patterns evolved but never disappeared. Universities replaced temple schools. Printing made books accessible. The internet democratized information further. Yet the principle endures. Societies that preserve and share knowledge thrive. Those that restrict or lose it struggle. The question became, how do you apply knowledge at scale? The answer came with fire and steel. Chapter 4. The Industrial Transformation. The Industrial Revolution changed human civilization fundamentally. Suddenly, machines could multiply human effort 100-fold. Factories produced goods that once took months in mere days. Railways and steamships connected distant lands. But the transformation went beyond machinery. Information itself began moving faster. Newspapers reached thousands daily. Telegraph wires carried messages across continents instantly. Governments adapted to coordinate increasingly complex societies. Public education expanded, creating literate populations who could work in new industries. Banking systems evolved to manage larger economies. Insurance spread risk across communities. Stock markets directed resources to promising ventures. These weren't isolated changes. They formed an interconnected system where each innovation enabled others. Better transportation meant better trade. Better education meant better innovation. Better communication meant better coordination. Entertainment evolved too. Novels, theaters, and later films brought stories to mass audiences. Music halls and concert venues became cultural centers. Art reflected and shaped the rapidly changing world. Cities grew as people sought opportunities. Urban planning became crucial. How do you house, feed, and employ millions living close together? The answers required understanding people at scale. What motivates workers? How do communities stay healthy? What keeps society stable during rapid change? These questions drove new fields of study: sociology, psychology, economics, urban planning. Humanity began studying itself systematically. The machinery of modern life grew more sophisticated each decade. But as machines learned to think, humanity faced a new kind of mirror. Chapter 5. The Digital Age. The Internet changed everything. Again. Information that once took days to cross oceans now travels instantly. Knowledge that filled libraries fits in your pocket. Communication connects billions of people simultaneously. Search engines organize humanity's collected wisdom. Social media platforms enable global conversations. Digital tools let anyone create and share content with the world. This technology reveals patterns at unprecedented scale. What do people search for? What content resonates? How do ideas spread through networks? Understanding these patterns helps creators reach audiences, helps businesses serve customers, helps researchers study society, helps teachers educate students. Algorithms curate information, showing us what we're likely to find relevant. Recommendation systems suggest products we might need. Digital assistants learn our preferences to serve us better. The digital economy emerged rapidly. Online marketplaces connect buyers and sellers globally. Remote work lets talent collaborate across continents. Digital currencies explore new forms of value exchange. Entertainment transformed completely. Streaming services offer unlimited content. Video games create immersive virtual worlds. Social platforms let anyone broadcast to millions. But this power raises important questions. How do we ensure information accuracy? How do we protect privacy while enabling connection? How do we balance freedom with responsibility? These aren't simple questions. They require ongoing dialogue between technologists, policymakers, citizens, and ethicists. The digital age offers unprecedented opportunities and unprecedented challenges. Understanding both is essential. Which brings us to perhaps the most important question of all. What does freedom really mean? Chapter 6. Understanding Freedom. Throughout history, societies have grappled with a fundamental tension. How do you balance individual liberty with collective order? Complete freedom without structure leads to chaos. Complete structure without freedom leads to stagnation. Every successful civilization found its own balance. Modern democracies enshrine personal rights while maintaining necessary laws. Free markets encourage innovation while regulations prevent abuse. Education empowers individuals while transmitting cultural values. We make countless choices daily. What to learn, what to believe, how to spend our time. These freedoms are real and precious, hard-won through centuries of social progress. Yet we're also influenced by our context. Culture shapes what seems normal. Education affects how we think. Media influences what we notice. Economics determines available options. Recognizing these influences doesn't diminish our agency. It enhances our understanding. When we see the systems around us clearly, we can navigate them more effectively. Ancient philosophers understood this. Know thyself, they advised. Understand your society. Question assumptions. Think independently. These remain valuable principles. In our complex, interconnected world, critical thinking matters more than ever. History shows that knowledge is liberation. Understanding how societies function helps us participate more meaningfully. Recognizing patterns of influence helps us make conscious choices. The story doesn't end. It continues through each of us. In every decision we make, every community we build, every value we uphold. The question isn't whether systems of organization exist. They must for societies to function. The question is this: do we understand them? Do we participate consciously? Do we work to improve them? These are questions each generation must answer for itself. From ancient ziggurats to digital networks, we've traced how human societies organize themselves. We've explored the role of belief, knowledge, technology, and freedom in shaping civilizations across millennia. These patterns reveal something profound: humanity's endless capacity to create, adapt, and evolve. If you enjoyed exploring these hidden histories and want to discover more about the forces that shaped our world, subscribe to Lost Thrones. New episodes uncover forgotten civilizations, archaeological mysteries, and the lessons history offers our present. Because understanding where we came from illuminates where we might go. Thank you for watching.